All right, so I just have a few minutes once again, but before the weekend starts for most of us, I wanted to take a minute and first say thank you to all my friends and family that are so encouraging and supportive of these live feeds and hopefully are encouraged and supported by them. So I put as the title one of my faves, James 4:7, resist the devil and he must flee. And I've taught and I'll say preached from this one several times, but again, as I go back and study and I find new things, not that the meaning changed, but maybe a season of my life and the application is a little bit different. Maybe my understanding has matured a little bit now, and so it's more applicable across the board. Submit to the Lord. Resist the devil and he must flee. This is something that I don't want to say I've recently discovered, but having talked to friends and family lately, having them ask me to pray with them or pray for them, I've realized, and I don't know, maybe it's just being naive, that one of the main tactics the devil, the enemy, gets at us is through fear. And so when you are tempted to be afraid, and it is a temptation, because you can resist. That's why this verse says, resist the devil and he must flee. But it also says, submit yourself to the Lord. It's that idea of which one are you going to choose to listen to and obey? Are you going to listen to God and his promises and his word? Are you going to trust in his faithfulness, his goodness, his steadfast love? Again, go read Psalms and you'll see how many times those words are used over and over. Read the entire Bible and you can see that constant thread of his goodness and grace. Even when bad things are happening, have happened, look like they're going to happen. We know that Romans 8 says all things work for good. Not that they are good, but they will eventually work for the end completion of our perfected hope in him. With that being said, and I got a little loud, I sped up, who are you going to choose to believe? Who are you going to choose to follow? Who are you going to submit to? You can be tempted and sin not. It's not wrong to be tempted. It's wrong to act on that temptation or allow that to have a stronger influence than God's promised word. So maybe you're worried about tomorrow, about a situation you're dealing with. We call it worry, but it's just another synonym for fear. You're wondering, is God going to come through? Are things going to fall like I'm hoping they should? And I'm not saying, and the Bible doesn't say this, and God doesn't say that we shouldn't plan and hope for the best. Absolutely we should. We also need to make sure that our hope is rooted and grounded in him, not in our own efforts. That the end result, no matter what it may be, we know that there is an ultimate end result, if you will, and it'll be for our good. It'll be for his glory. So whatever you may be hoping for or worried about, let me encourage you to take a second, more than a second, take as long as you need to, study this, pray about this, and say, Lord, I want to submit to you. I want to believe that your word is true because I know it is true, and look back in all the times he has come through in your life, so you can look at that track record and put a smile on your face, let him encourage you, and say, you know what, devil? No. Fear, enemy, the world, whatever they're pumping at you, you say, no. I'm resisting you. By God's grace and his power, I'm not going to believe that. I'm not going to wait and expect the worst. No, I'm going to trust in God. And we often quote it, pastors do, and I'm not saying it's wrong or out of context, but many of you have heard Jeremiah 29:10. God knows plans he has for you, and they're good plans for you to prosper. A lot of times it's taken to the, I'll say, dangerous message level, and I'll just leave it at that. But you can know that God has given you hope. You can know when you read Galatians 5:22 that that is a promised truth that he has for his children. All the fruits of the Spirit. That love, joy, peace, patience, kindness are part of his very nature. So when you go close to him and you say, I'm going to submit to what he says. I'm going to trust in him. I'm giving up any efforts of my own and I'm saying, God, no matter what happens, I'm holding on to you. Then you're seeing those fruit begin to blossom. They begin to grow, and you're able to share those with others. And if the thing you're praying for doesn't happen the way you want to, you can still say, you know what? No, I'm going to resist the fear, the temptation to be afraid, and I'm going to trust in God and say, no, I'm going to submit to your ways. I'm going to obey your word. I'm going to trust in you. I'm going to bring all my worries and cares and anxieties and fears and give them to you. I don't want them. I don't need them. And I'll end with this. Maybe some of you are like me, and you were tired of being tired. You didn't like to be afraid of being afraid. And it sounds weird, but some of you will know exactly what I mean. And you get to the point where you shake off the dust. You tell the enemy, you tell the devil, you tell all those negative things outside. You say, kick rocks. You know what? Hit the bricks. I'm done with you. I'm going back to my first love, and that's God. And I'm going to trust in him. He's never let me down, and he never will. Forgive me, God, for not trusting wholeheartedly in you. Let me be encouraged, refreshed in you. Let me have living rivers and water of life. You know what? Shower me with your goodness and grace and your peace and mercy. Guys, I pray you have a blessed rest of the day. Go read this. Go study it. I hope it's encouraging. And until next time, blessings.